Okay, welcome back. So we're up to our fourth video in this series, and this one I'm gonna do a little bit of a little something different here, a little trick to show you, and actually I have it zoomed in, and I'm just kind of outlining where my available writing here. Okay, so I don't get too far off track. Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about gnomons, and in this problem, it's telling us that it wants us to find the value of x and y, such that the shaded triangle is a gnomon of the white triangle. Now, so a gnomon, we know, is going to be similar. Once you add the gnomon to the original figure, it's going to be similar to the original figure. And let me go over these numbers with you. Obviously, you can see the x, and sorry, the shadow keeps getting in the way. The x and the y. This value is 12 right here for this side. And then this value is 15 here. And the value here is 9 for that little length there. So this part is the shaded part. This will be the gnomon to this triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little semi-magic trick. What I'm doing is I'm using a piece of tracing paper, and I'm going to just trace out the original figure just to help me visualize. Sometimes I have trouble visualizing these things because sometimes you have to like flip them over and all kinds of fancy stuff. Alright. And then I'm going to label them so I don't get confused. 15. And I'll actually underline the 15 so I don't confuse it with a 12. Just in case I have to flip it over. That's 12. And this one is 9. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do, because I have this cup here to support the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to rip this tracing paper so I can manipulate it freely without it bumping into the glass there, holding the camera up. Okay, so I've just traced that out. Now the reason I traced it out is so I can figure out which things go with which. Alright, so if I turn it around like this, it doesn't look like the original is going to be really jiving so well with that. If I do it like that, just the angles look a little wonky. So I think I'm actually going to have to flip this thing over. So if I flip it over, now I can see that looks pretty good. Like that looks like a scaled version. The larger one looks like a scaled version of this. But see how I had to flip it over? And I could look at the angle there. And most times these things aren't drawn to scale, so you know, you just kind of do the best you can. But that looks a whole lot better than the other one did. Now I can see through the tracing paper. Remember, I underlined my 15 there. So that's 15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some ratios. See, let me flip it back over, show you. See, that's the 15 there. So I'm going to set up my ratio such that 15, see how that 15 goes with this big side here? So I'm going to say 15 is to y plus 9 as this side here is 12. That's my 12 side, and there's my x as 12 is to x. See, I'm keeping the things that are written on the tracing paper, I'm keeping them on the top. All right, and then that's my 9 here on the tracing paper, and that's 15 there. So as 9 is to 15. All right. So I hope my finger didn't get too much in the way there, and you can understand what I'm doing. See, just the let's go over that again. 15 I got from here. 15 is to y plus 9 as 12. That's my 12 here. 12 is to x. And then as 9, here's my 9. That corresponds with the 15. 9 is to 15. So that's how I set up my ratios. Now all we have to do is to solve for we just need to solve for one of the variables and plug and chug and figure it out. Okay, so an easy way to do this, easy place to start, I think, would be just to go for this chunk of it right here and solve for x. So we could just simply say 9x equals, and then we take 15 times 12. $180. Cut 180 by 9 to come up with x. So looks like about 20. X equals 20. There we go. That's half the battle's over. All right. Now we can number of ways we can do this one, but why don't we just go ahead and take our, since this is already given 9 over 15, why don't we take 9 over 15 and 15 over y plus 9. So, don't have a lot of space here to write. Anyway, I'm going to take 15 times 15. So I have 225. Let me just go ahead and put a box around this so we know that's separate. Okay, 15 times 15. Then I'm going to take 9. I'm going to take 9 times y plus 9. So I have 225 equals 9y plus 9 times 9, 81. Now I'm going to reduce 81. Actually, I'm going to reduce that from 225, and then I'm going to bring my 9 over here just to make it look prettier. So 225 minus 81 equals 144. Here's where I'm just going to write my 9y over here. 9y equals 144. Sorry, running out of room. That ran into my y. Okay. Now I just cut 144 by 9. So I came up with 16. Y equals 16. So that's my solution there. X equals 20 and y equals 16. Alrighty then. So there you go. That's how to do something like that. Hopefully that's helpful, and we'll see you next time.